This is Seth, March Madness bracket winner, Yaxel Linderborg, aka Dominican LeBron, is the best player in the country. And you're watching Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our March Madness Opinions of the Week. We are in our final group for us, but depending on how you watch, this could be the first one or last one or the middle. We have 5 videos out. Make sure you are competing against our bracket. If you think you know better than us, winner gets a free liner. Now we go to the Midwest, Austin and Jake. And we have Michigan versus Howard and UMBC. Or UMBC.
UMBC.
Michigan. UMBC's not doing it again. I do think UMBC is better than Howard. Howard's a pretty decent team too, but I of the 16 seeds, I'm actually surprised that they're one of them teams that have to play their way in. But Michigan and Yaks will just tear them down.
Yeah, Michigan will win, but don't ever count out the Terriers. Are they Terriers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Terriers.
Or they're Retrievers.
Retrievers, whatever they are.
I think they're Retrievers.
UMBC's fun.
A retriever.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
So it would be funny if it was both teams combined against Michigan. Then it would be a little bit more tough. Then you have Georgia versus St. Louis, 8 and 9 seed.
Yeah, this was an unfortunate draw here. It would have been nice if it was like Georgia versus Villanova, St. Louis versus Utah State.
That would have been easy for me. I
That
would have taken
very
Georgia
nice.
and St. Louis in those games.
That would have been very nice. I don't like St. Louis right now.
I don't either. I think
they lost to Rhode Island, Dayton, George Mason.
No, they beat George Mason. It was just a very bad game. They had to overcome a double-digit lead.
No, they lost to George Mason. They got destroyed by George Mason. The one you talked about is George Washington.
Oh, okay, got it. My bad.
Did they play their whole team against George Mason? Yeah, they did.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little bit concerned. Sure, Georgia has had some bad games as of late. But those games are against Florida. They lost at Oklahoma, who's been playing a lot better, at Vanderbilt, and they lost to Ole Miss, who got hot in the SEC tournament. I'm taking Georgia to win this game.
I'm also taking Georgia. Go Dogs! This will be their first tournament win since 2002. That's crazy. How about that? How about the Bulldogs?
All right, so Georgia advances. Then you have Texas Tech versus Akron.
Akron.
Yep. I think I do that every year.
It's okay.
Go Red Raiders. Go Red Raiders. Akron's fun. I know Austin really likes Akron, and they are kind of nasty. They are pretty nasty. But I don't know. Austin.
Akron's also played a relatively tough schedule. They played Purdue, even though they did lose to them. They've had some very good performances. They're 10-0 in their last 10 games. They ended up winning the MAC championship. They did lose to Troy. They lost to Miami, Ohio. They lost to Murray State, which is really their only bad loss. They lost to Yale, and they lost to Purdue. Yale's a good team. Their only bad loss was to Murray State. They have some very good scores. The question you have to ask is, can Texas Tech stop Tavari Johnson? Tavari Johnson averages over 20 points per game. He is their lead guard, and he's a guy that has built his career on scoring the basketball. Last year, he averaged 13 points. He's been at Akron 4 years now. Last year, Akron made the tournament and lost pretty handily to Arizona, but that Akron team I do not think was as good as this one. Last year, they had Nate Johnson, who averaged 14, and Tavari Johnson, who averaged 13. This year, they have significantly better chances, in my opinion, and I definitely think they can win this game. It sucks that it's against Texas Tech, who has been my team for who knows how long. But the way they play basketball, I mean, their entire starting lineup, I believe. Okay, the top 5 scorers, I'll say, are all seniors. Their top 5 guys at Akron are all seniors. and seniors that have played in March before. These guys have been at Akron. I mean, top 2 scorers have been at Akron their entire career. They know Akron basketball, and that's all they do know. And they all know being in the tournament. They've been in the tournament the last 3 years. I'm going to take Akron to win. It hurts going against Texas Tech. If they had JT Toppin, there's no chance I'd take Akron to win this game. But they don't. And I know they've been playing decent without him. But they still are 6-4 in their last 10. They've had some bad losses. They got blown out by Iowa State in their last game. They lost to a BYU team that I'm not very confident in. They lost to Arizona State at Arizona State. They lost to TCU. I'm going to take Akron to win this game. They're very hot. They played a tough schedule. Again, 5 of those teams, 5 of their 6 losses were against good teams. I know Yo didn't make the tournament, but they're still a good team. They don't have bad losses besides Murray State. And I don't think Texas Tech is the same team. Look, Christian Anderson might be my second best player in the country, second favorite player in the country, only behind Darius Acuff when I look at my favorite players in the country currently playing, if JT Toppin doesn't count. But I have to take Akron.
So, okay.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well. So I see I'm the tiebreaker. Austin, it does hurt to go against Texas Tech as I go Akron, because like Texas Tech was like a fun, like lovable team, but now like a lot of people are
They
jumping
should have
on
won
the
the title last year. That's what is sad about it.
Here we good. Well,
Texas-
and then like, but now like people are like, Texas Tech, and like it used to be like a fun like small school in Lubbock, but not naming names, but someone else is like Texas Tech Red Raiders, who used to be against them. There's been a shift, especially financially for them. So
they've been basketball though. If they
but
in 2019,
I'm sure they're spending a lot of NIL money on that now.
Sure, but they were good before the NILs.
They were good, yes. But I'm saying now, like everyone's flocking to them.
I think football's. I understand the NIL argument for Texas Tech and football.
And
I don't.
softball.
Sure, in basketball, I don't think it makes much sense because
it doesn't. But
they've proven themselves in basketball for a while now.
They have, but now I think because of like they're getting good at like because of NIL with football and softball, a lot of people are starting to root for Texas Tech. They're like, I'm a big Red Raider person. But like I've been with them for a while. Like they were a fun team in Lubbock. Now they're getting a lot of national love. But it's gonna be sad when Akron beats them in the first round. Jake,
It looks like it doesn't matter. I don't want to go against Texas Tech. I think they're so prone to being so good, but they lost their last 3 to TCU, who's hot, BYU, who's hit or miss, and they got demolished by Iowa State, where they didn't look good and they didn't hit a lot of their shots. If they have JT Toppin, I have them in the Final Four. I really do. But
yes, we're talking national title contender again.
yeah, but they lost so much of that interior pressure that they haven't made up for. I mean,
Akron's not the tallest team in the world. Their tallest guy that really plays is 6'7". But so JT Toppin demolishes this game. But without Toppin, I don't think they take advantage of the inside enough.
I'm going to go with Texas Tech just because I believe in Christian Anderson and I believe in Watts and Atwell and Petty. I believe in the guard play, and I do think guards can win you games. I think Akron does have a lot of great guards too, and I just think Texas Tech is conditioned for this. I would pick the Red Raiders, but I mean, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Akron pulls this out.
Look, this is the only pick maybe I've ever made where I might be rooting against my own pick. Because that's how much I have appreciation for what Christian Anderson and Texas Tech have done.
all right. Now we move on from Akron and Texas Tech. Now you have Alabama versus Hofstra.
Give me Cruz Davis. Give me Cruz Davis. I love Cruz Davis, and they have a 7-footer. This is a Hofstra team that has size. This is not a normal mid-major team. Not many mid-majors have a 7-footer, and they have a 7-footer, a senior 7-footer. Oh, and they also have a freshman who's 6'10". Oh, they have 2 guys that are massive. Play minutes. They both average 7 rebounds per game. So you just take one out at one point and then put in the other one. They literally have split starts and split minutes. If you do like the 40-minute calculator, they basically one goes out and the other one goes in. It's a freshman for a senior. Both of them are extremely tall. They average basically the same amount of stats, everything. 5.2 versus 4.7 points, 6.9 to 6.9 boards, 1.1 blocks to 1.0 blocks, 0.4 steals to 0.3 steals. They're basically the same player. You're taking out two tall guys for two tall guys. They also have other size at other positions. They have 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", and they have great guards. Cruz Davis. Watching him play is amazing. They also have Pressman Edmead, who's also very good. Two good guards that average 16 plus. Cruz Davis averages over 20 points per game. Both of them shoot the ball a ton from three, and they also have good scores outside of that. I mean, they have four guys who average 9.3 points or more. They have another good shooter in German Pletnikov, who's also pretty good. He's their small forward. Look, Bama has not been playing at a level that has made me confident in them in a while. I know they're 8-2 in the last 10. You're like, oh, they're 8-2 in the last 10, but they played close against almost all their teams. They played against the Arkansas team with everybody hurt, three guys fouled out. They basically had no guys. We played, to put it in perspective, that Alabama versus Arkansas game that Arkansas lost by 2 with Darius basically scoring 50 points. We played two guys that had played less time in the entirety of the season before that Acuff had played that game. We played two guys in that game that had played less minutes in the entire season combined than Acuff played in that game. That doesn't make any sense. Those guys combined for 34 minutes all season, and we had two of those guys in the game at the end, which is, again, why we lost. They played close against LSU, a team that I don't think is all that good. They lost to Ole Miss. They lost to Georgia recently. They did beat Auburn, but I'm not high on Auburn. They beat Tennessee by 2. Look, LeBaron Philon is amazing, but you're not going to take advantage. And something that has been a problem for this team is I think, the center position for Alabama, which is why they had to go with Charles Bediako to try to get that whole fiasco to be advantageous to them. I'm taking Hofstra.
Cruz Davis is a monster. Cruz Davis is a monster. He is so good, dude. He is an unbelievable player.
And
So is
Bama
LeBaron
cannot defend.
Philon. But so is LeBaron Philon. Does Hofstra have the defense to stop a guy like LeBaron Philon?
Hofstra is very good at defense. They allow 66 points per game. I'm not saying that they're going to. Okay, but Bama can't go.
Number one scoring team in the country against the number one.
I'm not saying they're going to hold the 66. My point is that I think Hofstra scores more points than Bama.
This is a tough one, dude.
Hofstra has size.
I once again worry about depth here. Hofstra does not have a lot of dudes.
They have 7 guys, and again, they have size. I don't worry. I think a lot of times when guys have one tall guy, when there's maybe a mid-major with one tall guy, is that they can get that tall guy in foul trouble. I think foul trouble is a major concern, especially against Bama, who drew a ton of fouls against Arkansas and had 3 guys foul out. I don't worry about that here because you have a guy to replace your other tall guy. And while, yes, I don't think they're the deepest team in the world, I don't think Bama, if Philon gets cold, I do not like Latrell Wrightsell, I don't think is good. I really don't think he's all that good. He shoots under 40% from the field, and he's really been extremely inconsistent. Now, I'm not saying that Bama's going to score 66 points. I think Bama probably scores, 80 points. But I think Hofstra can score 81 plus.
I like LeBaron Philon and Aiden Holloway. That's a good guard duo. They both shoot over 40% from 3.
There's a good guard duo at Hofstra. They got 20 points per game in 16. It's basically the same scores.
Cruz Davis is nasty. I think about Alabama and how consistently good they are on offense. And they usually win games. They usually win a game in March. do.
We've been disappointed about their runs before, though. If you
Yeah, but they
remember
won.
Brandon
They,
Miller.
they made two. With Brandon Miller, they still made the Sweet 16. And a year after that, they made the Final Four. Then last year, where they won, made the Sweet 16 again. Nate Oates knows how to win games. I think he knows how to coach these games better. I think LeBron Fallon and Aiden Holloway are a great guard duo, and Latrell Wrightsell can still shoot threes. And Aiden Sherrill, 2.5 blocks a game. He's fine. They're fine. And then out, they can rebound too. They average 40 rebounds a game. So I'm gonna take that here. As fun as it would be to see Cruz Davis. Cruz Davis is going to put on a show.
Well, Hofstra can also rebound really well too. They average 39 rebounds per game. I mean, they're top. I think it's top 40 in the country. Or top 30. They're 29th in the country in boards. They're a great rebounding team.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hofstra pulls off a fun upset here, but
they're built like a Power 5 team. Even if they're not a Power 5 team, they're built like it. They have the size. They have the guard scoring. They have the shooting. Kevin, you're the tiebreaker.
So I do like a fun story with a small unknown team. And you talk about Charles Bediaku. It'd be fun to go against Alabama. You make a good argument with Cruz Davis. So I'm going Hofstra upsets Alabama for a 12-13 matchup later in the second round that we'll get. But now we can move on to Tennessee versus either Miami of Ohio versus SMU. I feel like Miami of Ohio wins that game.
I agree because SMU has just been bad. Really, really bad recently. I mean, they got 20 balled by Stanford. They got 20 balled by Florida State. They lost to Cal. They lost to Louisville. I think Miami of Ohio does win that game. Jake, what do you think about the 11-11 matchup?
all right. I hate this entire situation here. Miami's not good. SMU's shown flashes. I like Boopy Miller. I think Boopy Miller pulls it out. I think SMU wins and beats Miami of Ohio, ending the story. I think SMU pulls it out against Miami, but I don't see them going any further than the first four. After the first four,
Kevin?
Oh, you chose Miami of Ohio?
I haven't picked yet.
Oh, okay. I go Tennessee no matter what. I think Miami of Ohio was a fun story, but I think lately they've struggled. So I believe they beat SMU.
Lately is funny. No.
Yeah.
I just found they're 31-1, and you said lately they've struggled.
I know they cut it close against Ohio, and then they lost to UMass.
They snuck by all those wins.
They're 31-1. Who cares how they won the game? Lately they struggled is hilarious because I'd say they struggled in one game because they lost.
But I think leading up to the tournament, and then they did not do well against UMass.
Did not do well. They lost by 4. Lost the game, sure. I don't know why they did not do well.
But it's UMass. It's UMass. They didn't win a game in their conference tournament.
Sure. I don't think many teams have understood the intense pressure that you're on or under when you are undefeated. You are a target on everybody's, the target's on your back against every team. That people want to beat you. You're going to get the absolute best performance from every team you play. I don't think it's fair to look at necessarily UMass as, it's just UMass. UMass played tough in their next game, but those games are rivalry games because you're in your conference, and those teams want to beat you more than anything. When you look at a normal game, I don't think they're as intense. I really don't think that the intensity of beating an undefeated team matches just a regular home and away set.
Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Tennessee's winning the first game.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I think that Tennessee's. I'm not high on Tennessee at all.
I don't like them either. But
I could see Miami beating them. Is what I'm saying. I'm fine taking Tennessee. I'm going to have them losing to Virginia anyway. But I could see Miami beating them.
Yeah, I have Tennessee winning. Now we go to Virginia versus Wright State.
Cavs.
Virginia.
Come on now.
I have Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, not close.
All right. Now Kentucky versus Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. Kentucky's really struggled recently. They're 4-6 in their last 10, including pretty disappointing losses at home against Georgia. You don't want to lose home games. They also lost at A&M, at Auburn. Just poor into the season. While Kentucky does have some good guys, I really like Santa Clara. Their win against St. Mary's was extremely impressive, and those are really the teams they've lost to are Gonzaga and St. Mary's. But again, they have a win against St. Mary's, and while they did lose to Gonzaga, they put up a good fight and were pretty tight in that game. And I like this matchup for them.
I'm gonna go Kentucky. I like Colin Chandler. I like Otega Owe. I like Denzel Aberdeen. I like Yabate. They got a good squad. They were holding their own against Florida there for a little bit. They really were for the whole game. They were kind of in it. So I
Florida
think
and Kentucky played 3 times, and Kentucky held the lead. You want to go know how many times? 0.
I think Mark Pope's a good coach. I like the squad. They have a lot of senior leadership. Um, I kind of like the squad. I think Santa Clara is a little young, um, and not experienced in tournament play like this. Santa Clara is very young. Um, that's why I think Kentucky wins.
So it is tough because you talk about Kentucky. I do like Mark Pope as a coach, um, but they did struggle, and I think 4 to 6 games, like Austin said, is an important note. Um, I think Santa Clara is dangerous, and I do think I have them defeating Kentucky and advancing to the next round.
I want to point out something though. I think while how you're doing recently is incredibly important, you still got to think about the makeup of the team and you got to think about who is on the squad. Do you have a guy? Otega Owe can win them a game. If Colin Chandler is hitting on all, if is hitting his threes and he doesn't foul out like he did in Florida, he can win you a game. I just think you got to think about Kentucky. Like Kentucky's a great school. They've got a lot of great players. And comparatively, I think this bracket we've had a lot of smaller teams beating bigger teams. And while that is possible and it does happen in March, I think we still got to pump the brakes a little bit here and
We
think
have
about
1 second. We do have
come on.
all 7 seeds winning.
Yeah, but it's not about the seed. It's about the fact that we have had
If you
multiple
talk about
12-13s. We have had an 11 versus a 14. I just think that's a little unrealistic. While it's
we don't have
possible,
11 first, we don't have an 11 versus 14.
we do.
I had 11. No, we don't. We don't. Penn didn't win. We had Illinois winning.
Okay.
I had Penn winning, but you guys picked Illinois.
I just think we need to be careful about who we're talking about here. And Santa Clara has not sniffed. I don't know the last time Santa Clara has sniffed a game like this. Sniffed it. And so
they beat. I think that the way. What were you say?
In the tournament against a team like Kentucky, an SEC team who historically has been. I know they don't have Coach Cal anymore, but I just
don't
think
historically really matters in this game.
I get how it doesn't really matter, but I think you got to think about like it's still Kentucky, it's still an SEC school, it's still a team that has beaten really good teams this year, and so I think Santa Clara. I'm not saying this because I don't like Santa Clara. I'm saying this because I'm seeing a trend of like liking teams that I think do have potential and could. I like all of your points you guys have made that have been made are valid because anything can happen in March. Anything can happen, but I think when you think about the makeup of a bracket and how it ends up happening, you still got teams like that will consistently win. And like, I just think Kentucky has not shown anything recently. Yeah, they've come out on losing ends, but I don't think anything about the way that they're playing has shown that they can't handle a game in March. I
Is
really
Kentucky not the team though that you think of when you think of a team losing early? Is that right? The first team when you think, oh, big team lost early? Oh yeah, that's the
know
first.
it's
The
Arizona.
exact. No, 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 no. I wouldn't think Zona first. St. Peter's, Oakland. I mean, you're talking about first round exits. The 15 seed beats them. The 14 seed beats them. The 11 seed beats them. The every just name the team seed beats them. The Kentucky, they are the team that's the better team that loses.
I get it, but I just think there were signs in those seasons that showed, oh, they could lose. And also, Doug, what the hell? Nobody's beating Doug Ader that
Sure,
in that game.
I can give you that, but I'm just saying that the way I think that if I think of history of Kentucky the last 5 years, it's
I think
missing
they
the tournament and tournament disappointment every year, not
I get
necessarily.
it. I get it. I get it. I know. I get it. But it's just I just don't want to go over the edge a little bit. I don't want to go
I
over
get
the
that. I don't think we are. I'm
quick.
telling you, I don't think we are.
I want to throw that out. I'm not saying this isn't possible. I'm not saying Kentucky is going to win. I'm cautious about the makeup of the bracket and what it looks like. Austin, your bracket's going to be insane. Your bracket's going to be so insane.
This is a year of upsets, in my opinion. I just don't feel confidently about a lot of these teams.
I get it. I mean, we went into this knowing that it was not going to be all chalk. We went into this knowing this is going to be a crazy season because not a lot of teams are top or reliable.
We have to think. I know. We think back to just the last video we did, Jake. But if we look at the top of the bracket, it is extremely chalk, except for the 7 seeds going far. But if we ignore the 7 seeds, it's basically chalk every other pick.
But the Final Four is not going to be chalk. I can tell you that. In the real tournament, I know our picks are going to be chalk, but I just think
we'll see. I mean, I feel confident about it. Let's move on to the Iowa State
move
game
on.
because Kevin picked Santa Clara, correct?
Well, yeah, and to add on to that, I got one more thing to talk about. That you talk about March, and there usually is a team that gets hot from beyond the arc, and that leads to a lot of upsets. And looking at Kentucky, they have not done well against the 3-point line. And looking at Santa Clara, you have them. They are 23rd in the nation in 3-point attempts per game at 29.2, and they have 2 players that shoot 40% from deep, while the team shoots 34.6% from deep. So that is another
Hammond's
reason.
really good.
Huh?
Christian Hammond's really good. He's their best player.
Yeah.
I just think that some games sometimes just boil down to the simplicity of experience, and I think Santa Clara does not have any. And
Kentucky
I think
experience is losing. That's
but
why
they still have
when
experience.
I think
They're still there. They're still there though, and they can.
Losing.
There is such a thing as a redemption arc. I believe in redemption arcs. I believe in character arcs. It's going to happen.
Well, the redemption arc is Arizona. I'm telling you, we can't have 2. There's not 2 redemption arcs.
Fine.
So now we can move on to Iowa State versus Tennessee State. I don't think there's much debate with that. Iowa State.
Shout out to Tennessee State, though. I was shocked that they won their tournament, and them winning the OVC was pretty impressive. Shout out to them, but it's definitely Iowa State.
Now, Iowa State versus Santa Clara.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yep, Iowa State. Now you have Virginia versus Tennessee.
Virginia.
All right, Virginia advances. Now you have Hofstra versus Akron.
Hofstra, they have the size. I don't think Akron, again, Akron's tallest player is 6'7". Hofstra has 3 or 4 guys taller than that. I don't think they can compete size-wise. There's no way they get enough boards. Like, if they miss any shots, there's no way to get a board.
In this situation, I'm riding the cruise missile.
That's a great way to put it.
All right. Hofstra advances. Now you have Georgia versus Michigan.
Go Wolves.
Yeah, this is Michigan.
Let's not overcomplicate it.
Yeah. Now Michigan versus Hofstra.
I think this game would be close. I'm taking Michigan. I'm going to say that out there, but Hofstra has size to compete with the size of Michigan, and they also are extremely competitive defensively, which I think you do have to be against Michigan. I think there's a non-0% chance that Hofstra could win this game, but I'm taking Michigan.
I'll take Michigan.
All right, so Michigan advances. Now, Virginia versus Iowa State.
Whoa. What? Wait, we didn't even. Did we do the Virginia Iowa State game?
No, we are currently doing the Virginia versus Iowa
Yeah,
State.
yeah.
Oh.
That's the game.
What did you hear?
Sorry, I heard Michigan Iowa State, and I was like,
No,
wait,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
taking Iowa
Iowa
State.
State.
Virginia versus Iowa State. Yeah.
Virginia. I think the way Virginia's playing basketball, well, I've watched a lot of Virginia basketball, their last 5 games. I've really only watched their last 5 games. What I've seen is remarkable. I've been extremely impressed.
They've been like this for a month. They've been like this since I've been watching. They've been like this the entirety of ACC play. They're nasty. They're pretty nasty. They've been like this the entire season.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. The center, Ugana Oyenso, I think it is.
So, yeah, what do you have? 7 blocks?
9
blocks.
6 of them against Cam Boozer.
I got them.
Yeah.
All right. So Virginia advances. Now Michigan versus Virginia.
Virginia's defense will ruin Michigan. I think Yaxel is the best defender in college basketball. But I don't think they are going to stop turning the ball over enough times. I don't think it's going to happen. Virginia, while they're not the best team in the world at turning teams over, Michigan shoots themselves in the foot too often. And I think Virginia wins.
I agree.
All right. Virginia advances, which completes our own videos of the regions. But you can go check out the other regions. We are about to do our Final Four, which will be its own separate video. If you want to compete against our bracket, make sure to follow the instructions in the description. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.